welcome everyone to this channel. My name is Janet. I'm working through the King James's Bible within 1 year, and today I am in the book of Psalms, working my way through chapters 19, or should I say Psalms 19 to 26. So I'll be reviewing each one, what I've taken from each one, just the information I've gathered and felt like highlighting in each one, and sharing it with you here. So hold on tight, because here we go. So the title of Psalm 19 is To the Chief Musician, and it is a psalm of David. This psalm begins saying that heaven is the glory of God and that earth is his handiwork, so his creativity. And if you look around the world, how many different creatures and animals and birds and us ourselves, all the intricate details, all designed by God. This psalm then goes on to say the skies both in the day and at night speak to us, offering God's wisdom and knowledge. God's voice is invisible, yet it reaches us from far and wide upon this earth. The sun, it says, is his glory, rising and falling every day, showing his strength, his brightness, and how he's invincible, like you can't touch the sun. It's so hot, but yet so bright and glorious. It then sets out the Lord's laws to transform the soul, that the Lord's testimony is simple and sure. The Lord's statutes are right. The Lord's commandments are pure. The fear of the Lord is clean and forever. The Lord's judgments are righteous. And all these laws are to be desired more than gold or honey. They are the greatest reward. Turn inward for correction, for the truth. And he says, cleanse me from my sins. Let my words and my heart be accepted. In God, the strength and redeemer. This is how we close Psalm 19. So this one is a real glorification of God and that all he stands for, what he's made, how he's come into this world, and how he connects with us and allows our lives to be great when we follow his rules. Like it said, his statutes, commandments, and judgments. They lead us on a righteous path, and that is what this psalm, to me, is all about. Let's move now on to Psalm 20, which again the title is To the Chief Musician, and it's a psalm of David again. And this one is when he's in trouble, because it starts with, Hear me, God, in my times of trouble. Send help. May the Lord receive sacrifices. May the Lord deliver your heart's desires and fulfill your purpose. For whatever you petition, let the Lord answer. The Lord saves and answers the anointed and brings great strength. Trust in God's name above all else. This will bring triumph. And this closes Psalm number 20. So let's now move straight on into Psalm 21. And the title of this one is To the Chief Musician, a Psalm of David. And this is a joyful one. It says, Kings are joyous in God's strength and his salvation. The giving of his heart to God. That's what David is saying in this one. He's giving his heart to God. He says, God gives goodness. He brings a gold crown upon his head. He brings him good life and old age and honour. And David says he trusts in you. I trust in you, God. He says, you'll find all the enemies, those who hate you, and your angry wrath will swallow and devour them. You'll destroy their offspring and their descendants. They were evil and deserved God's judgment. And then he exalts God and he sings and he praises his power. And this closes Psalm number 21. Now Psalm number 22 is really deep. The title for this one is To the Chief Musician upon Algieth Shahar. And this is a psalm of David. And it starts with, Why have you forsaken me? You're so far away from my words and my calling and my cries. I cry in the day and I cry in the night. You are holy. Our fathers trusted in you, and you delivered them. I'm a worm, not a man, and despised by the people for trusting in God. They say, Let him save you now. They ridicule me. But you, my Lord, birthed me into life. You have been my God from the moment I was born. Come close, I'm in trouble, I have no help. And then he describes the agony that he's in. that he's surrounded by bulls and lions that are raging and roaring against him. He's pouring like water. His heart is weak. His strength is dried up. His mouth is numb. He's almost dead inside. The wicked have surrounded him, wanting to divide him into pieces. And he says, "Save me, Lord, from my enemies." Now he senses God's answer and he calls for his deliverance. And he calls for him to deliver him from evil. He wants the wicked to fear God. All who seek you praise you, God, and worship you for your faithfulness to your people. And this is where we close Psalm number 22. Psalm number 23 now is simply a Psalm of David. And this psalm has been used a lot for people to comfort them in suffering. It's a real one to people have used it when they're almost dying, and you might know it when I read some of the words. I'm not reading it exactly as it's written. I've just taken out pieces and I've written it my phrased way, so this is not how it's written in the Bible. I would suggest you read the link under this video for Psalm 23 because you're going to get a lot more out of it by reading it as it was written by David. So it says, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He knows when I need rest, comfort, and care. He restores my soul, leading me to righteousness, towards grace. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, no fear of evil, with you on my side. I sit at the table of my enemies, at perfect peace, because he's got God on his side. My cup is full," he says. "I have faith. Goodness and mercy shall follow me for all the days of my life. I will be with you, God, forever." This is where we close Psalm number 23. Psalm number 24 now is a Psalm of David again, that's the title, and it begins with, "The earth belongs to God and everything that dwells upon it. He placed the earth upon the waters and the seas. Who may stand in this holy place? He who is righteous in his heart and his actions, not worshipping false idols or deceiving others with words. The righteous shall be blessed." And then it welcomes God in like a king, and it does this twice. So there's like a section where it's going through all this glory to the Lord like he's a king, and then the same again twice. So this is a repetition. It's really drumming up. So you can imagine this played with music as it gets the music gets more and more powerful. And that closes Psalm 24. 25 now is again a Psalm of David, and it starts with, "I lift my soul to you, I trust you. No shame, no enemies. Teach me your ways, O Lord. Remember, Lord, your mercies and kindness. Don't remember my sins of youth. Have mercy on me now," he's asking God. Acknowledging God's goodness, his justice, his teachings, mercy and his truth. And he wants God to pardon his iniquity because he says it's great. So he's really gone off course, he's realizing when he's writing these words. Fearing the Lord, he says, will reveal his ways and his covenant. To keep my eyes on the Lord. See me, he says, have mercy on me. Forgive me. My enemies hate me. This is reoccurring for David, isn't it? Deliver me from them. No shame for trusting in you. I wait for you, he says. Redeem Israel, O God, out of all their troubles. And this closes Psalm 25. I do love that about David at the end. He's always thinking about his people as well. He brings them in because he knows his transgressions also affect his people and God. You know, he is a leader, so he's got that responsibility as well on his shoulders. So let's now move on to our last psalm today, Psalm 26, which again titled is a Psalm of David. And it starts with, Vindicate me, O Lord. Test me, Lord. I've been loyal to you. I'm innocent. I love your temple. Don't leave me with sinners or bloodthirsty men, as this is a sinister outlook. Redeem me, have mercy, for I will bless the Lord publicly. So he wants to bless the Lord out in front of everyone, you know, showing how much faith and trust he has and that he doesn't care about anybody else sort of shaming him and making him think, oh, you're wasting your time worshipping a false god, they'll say. But It's not true. David knows this in his heart, and he knows that when he blesses the Lord and he speaks this out publicly from his heart, that things will turn, that the Lord will hear him. And this is definitely what has gone throughout all of these Psalms I've just read today. So we've covered now Psalm 19 to 26, and we've gone up and down in different ways. And that's what these Psalms seem to be all about. You know, they're kind of like grieving one moment, then they're rejoicing another moment. So he's going through this real journey in his life, and he's writing songs to the Lord as he's going through troubled times, also as he's going through glorious times. And that is where I will leave today, the book of Psalms for now, and I will continue on tomorrow with more. So I will end today's video here, and I'm wishing you a beautiful day and hope to see you again soon. Thanks for your time now. Take care. Bye.